Welcome back to the 40 Views video tutorial series. In today's assignment we're going to talk about LWRP, baking light maps and adding a simple fog effect into our scene. The lightweight render pipeline, or soon to be called universal render pipeline, is perfect for VR and AR applications, especially those targeted towards lighter devices such as smartphones or standalone VR goggles. We start where we last left off from our Unity lighting tutorial in the recreated temple scene. So let us first upgrade our project to LWRP. Let us navigate to Windows, Package Manager. Enable preview packages in our package manager and search for the lightweight render pipeline. In the newest version it might be called universal render pipeline, but the steps stay the same. So let us click install. Once the installation is complete, we have to assign the new LWRP render pipeline in the project settings. Let's go to project settings and open the tab graphics. We have to assign an LWRP render pipeline asset. So let us right click into our project, create, rendering, lightweight render pipeline, pipeline asset. And let's call it LWRP asset. Now drag and drop the newly created asset into the graphics render pipeline asset. Upon assigning the assets, all of our game objects should have turned bright pink. That is because our old shaders are no longer supported by LWRP. In order to fix that, we need to change all shaders of all game objects. Luckily, LWRP provides an automatic option to upgrade all materials to LWRP materials. Go to Edit, Render Pipeline, Lightweight Render Pipeline, and upgrade project material to lightweight material. Press Proceed. Unfortunately, the automated feature was not able to upgrade our project materials. If that is the case, we have to update every material individually and assign this new texture manually. Now that the materials of the temple are all upgraded, let us reassign the texture on our sequence. So let us select our mesh for the S and change from the standard shader to the lightweight render pipeline simple lit shader. Let us fix the broken texture on our sequence by reassigning the preview frame. I can't really see anything in our scene, so let us readjust the range and intensity of our spotlight. In LWRP, intensity and range correlate differently than in the built-in render pipeline. So let's keep the range at 120 and higher the intensity to 130. Now that we see a little bit better in our scene, let us go to our 30 view sequence shader and disable specular highlights so we do not have any specular errors on our sequence. Also be advised that the receive shadow options is now part of the shader and no longer part of the mesh renderer. So we're going to leave this enabled as well. Now that all of the materials have been upgraded and the shader of our sequence is set, let us start preparing the scene to bake light maps. Let us go into our hierarchy and create 2 more light sources. Let us create a point light and position it right above our sequences. Let us set the intensity to 5. Now let us create a second point light and put it right up there next to our spotlight in the couple. Let's rename it to Dome Light and let us position it right on top of our spotlight. Before we can set the mode of our point lights to be baked light, we first have to go over to the Lightings terminal and enable Baked Global Illumination in the Mixed Lighting tab. So let us enable Baked Global Illumination, go back onto the inspector and set our point light to be baked. Do the same to our dome light. Now that our baked light has been set up in the scene, let us go to the Lighting tab and let us enable Generate Lighting. You might wonder why our shadow below our sequence has disappeared. The reason for that is that we did not yet change the LWRP asset. Let's select our LWRP asset, go to the inspector, and let's enable cast shadows, and let's also enable soft shadows. Now our characters have soft shadows. For the same reason as the spotlight, the intensity of our ambient light must also be adjusted. So let's go back to the lighting tabs, go to ambient color, and let's adjust the intensity. This looks alright. Now that our lighting is adjusted, let's add a little bit of a fog effect into the scene. For that, I'm going back to the Lightings panel I'm going all the way down to other settings and enable fog. The fog density is not high enough to see any specific changes. So let's go to our density and let's higher it by a factor of 5. This looks good. Now let's also change our fog color to be a little bit more yellowish. Actually, 0.5 seem a little bit too low. Let's add this up all the way to 0.7. Alright.